Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new Lost City of Ngoro card review, and the dreaded day has arrived. It is time to start reviewing priest cards. Are they any good? Are they gonna make us suffer? Or are they gonna be like a lot of priest cards lately and be absolutely terrible? I think we got a mix of both here, to be honest with you. So we're gonna review these cards. If you want to win them, we have a giveaway going on for 2 regular pre-orders and 2 mega bundles out of my pocket. To enter that giveaway, like and comment in the video, link down description below, the one with that thumbnail over there. Be subscribed to the channel. Every 1,000 subs we get until all the cards are revealed, I'll add another mega bundle. So hit that sub button, make me go baroque. So let's start off with a card that I'm not entirely sold on, to say the least, and that is the Wilted Shadow, a 7 mana, 7/7 lifesteal elemental, and its text reads, whenever you heal an enemy, so you have to heal an enemy, which, why do I want to do that? But I could heal the enemy's face. That could be something. This attacks it. So this could be a pseudo charge minion. You heal up your opponent's face, and let's say you heal for 2, then this will deal 7. That's 5 damage. Not bad. You're also healing with this as well, or you just heal up a minion on the board. There's not that many great targeting ways, at least not yet. We might have more cards to go over, not particularly in this reveal, but later on, maybe later today, to heal up minions that well. I just don't know, like, this just feels like you really want to go face with it, I guess. Like, I don't feel like 7 mana, that's a lot of requirement, and then you got to heal something up and have it attack it. It just seems bad. I don't know. This is the card I'm just like, I don't think we'll see much play, but there is the potential for it. Like, there's not a lot of burst in Priest outside of like acupuncture, right? There's not a ton, and maybe this is some kind of weird finisher with some synergies I'm just not thinking of. But yeah, in terms of like just healing a minion, having this attack that seems atrocious. This feels like it needs to be a finisher of some sort. I don't have the vision for this, at least right now. So I'm gonna give this, I'll give it a 2, just because it can go face, and there's always a potential for that. But again, I'm just not really super sold on it. In WoW, we have even more ways to like target stuff for cheap healing. You have like 0 mana heal 3 can be really nice. You could do that. But then again, you're only dealing 4 unless you buff it up. Maybe an Inner Fire Priest or something, which will be relevant when we look at a card that's actually looks insane in a bit. The legendary minion. I don't know. I'll give it a 2 in standard, a 2 in wild. You just never know with something like this. But at the end of the day, to me, it just doesn't look all that amazing. Next, though, we have an amazing throwback that could be good, could be terrible. I don't know. Another really hard one to say. The Story of Amara, a 10 mana spell. We don't see a lot of those these days. You set your hero's health to 40. This is the old Amara reward, right? The 5 mana taunt that would set your health to 40. Instead, you got to pay twice the amount of mana, and you don't get a taunt with it. However, you can run 2 of these. It's just a common, no longer a legendary effect. So you're almost dead. You're like 1 health and you got 10 mana. You could play this and go to 40 and develop absolutely nothing else. But that could buy you some time, maybe, to stay alive. Overall, when I look at this card, I think of that old dragon for Paladin that would restore both players' health to full, which was always a bad card. This kind of works in a similar way. You're not healing up your opponent, but I feel like most times you're not going to want to care about that if you're playing like a control deck. And yeah, it just sets your health to 40, but you get up there, you're at 40 health. All of a sudden I could heal up to that point and it might help me stabilize. Maybe it's just, yeah, it's expensive. It is such an expensive card, but the effect is really darn powerful. And also you can imbue into this, right? In imbue priest, maybe get this for 0 mana. 0 mana, set your hero's health to 40. The problem with imbue is when you get to the higher cost, you just rarely get good stuff. You get weird cheap stuff, and it's only good in the early game. But yeah, I'm not going to scoff at something that could set your health to 40, even if it's 10 mana. It is going to Priest. I just don't know. Yeah, can I stay alive to play this, or can I stay alive while playing this? I don't know, but it's got a shot. I'll give it a 3 in Standard. In Wild, to get to 10 mana to play this, obviously there's ways to discount, like palm reading, for example, but I just don't particularly see it in Wild in like a Reno Priest or anything like that. Seems very slow, doesn't have any spell school on it, so I can't really manipulate it that way. We'll give it a 2, but I feel like there's going to be a lot of complaints and Reddit threads just about this card, because the aggro players just can't stand when people's health go really high, even if it's attached to a 10 mana spell. And lastly, and certainly not least, we have what I think is an incredible legendary with a ton of potential, amazing artwork, and I don't know how to pronounce it properly. Archaios? I never know. Archaios. I'm gonna go with Archaios. It's an Apple product, okay? A 3 mana, 1/6 beast. And it has a constant effect when it's on the board, and it's a pretty relevant one, which reads whenever another friendly minion attacks, so any friendly minion on the board, could have rush, could have charge, could just be on the board, set its health equal to this minion's health. So very similar to the high speaker. Was it a I can't remember. It was a 4 mana 2/7, which if you played a minion, it would have its health set to the same as that minion. This is cheaper. It's 1 less health, but my goodness, it's way more proactive. I played like 3 1/1s on the board. They live, and I play this. They all attack. They're 1/6s. They're really hard to remove. I can buff them up potentially. I can buff this card up as well. Whether, I don't know, be a hand buff somehow, like that 2 mana spell that can add health to a minion. You could try and hit this, right? Just for an example, there's things out there, and all of a sudden, every minion that attacks has a lot of health, is super sticky, super annoying, and it can just snowball from there. I look at this as like a menagerie priest, like aggressive card right now. They're playing quite a few like cheap minions that don't have a ton of health, or even if they have 3 or 4, this is an upgrade. You have a couple of them hit. Like, how are you removing that stuff? And it just snowballs from there. There is the downside, of course, if this has been damaged, I can't heal it up, and I have other minions on the board that they're going to have very little attack or little health if I attack with them. But I feel like that's more of a niche situation. It was also niche with that 2/7 that I referred to earlier. So just seems really strong in like minion heavy, aggressive, like tokeny style decks, which we have seen with Priest. The best Priest decks are all aggro lately. We're seeing some control tools here. We'll have to see what that quest looks like later today. But overall, it just seems really strong. This seems like a very strong card with a lot of potential, just of how you could build around it, really abuse this, that I cannot rate this anything lower than like a 4. I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5. I think it is a very strong, aggressive, snowbally priest legendary, and there's no inner fire or bless in standard right now, but they are in wild, so you never know that in wild you could just get something to stick and then inner fire or bless it or topsy-turvy it. You could do some real work, or you have like a crab rider on the board. You could potentially OTK if you have a Wind Fury minion, right? It attacks once, it'll have its health, and you can buff it up, inner fire, and then kill. It's not a super likely scenario, but it's possible. So even with wild, there's implications for this to work with like an inner fire style of buff deck. We haven't seen that really be a thing since Radiant Elemental got nerfed a while ago, but a card like this can certainly help bring things back. So I'll give it a 3 in wild. There's certainly possibilities for it, and I just think it's a very, very strong priest card that we'll have to see how it plays out. There's going to be so many ways to really get this to be kind of busted. I just see somewhere, some way, this card will create a busted deck, whether it's this set or in the future. It's a pretty darn scary card. You know, the Archaios. Thank you, Apple, for your contribution to Hearthstone. So there you go. There'll be more priest cards later today. I have a feeling probably going to see that quest. So stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day and stay salty, my friends.